My guest today is pure magic. Since the last time she was here, she made a baby, won a Tony, and has even been linked with Jake Gyllenhaal. On December 31st, she will ring in the new year with a room full of lucky fans at Feinstein's 54 Below. What's up, Annaleigh Ashford?
What's up?
So good to see you.
So good to see you,
This is the holiday episode. Shows people holiday episode. I wanted somebody magic, and I wanted a real favorite here. So thank you for coming back. And also, you've been on Show People twice before.
Yes.
This is actually our 5-year anniversary from the first time you were on Show People. So happy anniversary.
Thank you. Happy
Cheers.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Let's toast our. I like that you have a straw too.
I'm honored.
You can have a straw. Okay, there's a lot going on with you. We have a lot to cover.
Okay.
And I have seen you since the last time you were here in the last 3 years. I've seen you out, but I haven't seen you here under these lights and these chairs. Oh my God, you have a baby.
I have a baby.
That's like the most exciting thing. I mean, career stuff is great, but you're a mommy.
It's bananas. We started sleep training like 2 nights ago, and we don't really know what we're doing. Apparently, he's not sleeping, so I guess we're not good at that. But I
don't think that's your fault.
No.
I think this is a new human. I think
It's amazing to watch a new human in
Jack.
the world. His name's Jack, yes.
Great name.
Great name, thank you. His name's Jack Clark Tapper. We think he may be a baseball announcer. We're kind of hoping.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. I don't know. But yeah, he is a small, tiny human. He's beginning to laugh, never at us. I guess we're not funny enough for him.
You're not funny, but he'll react to other things.
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Okay. Will he laugh with you at other things?
No, he's just not into laughing at us or with us. But other people are really funny to him.
This might haunt you his entire life. Yeah.
Probably. I think that I have a feeling he's going to be one of those kids that's like, oh, Mom,
right.
You're just not funny.
Right.
You know?
And finding like old photos of you and all your shenanigans and being like, oh, Mom.
He'll be like, Mom, please don't wear a wig to pick me up at school, please. Leave the lace front at home.
He is like a little over 3 months old.
Yes, he's 3.5 months right now. 3.5 months
old. Okay, when I found out you had him, I knew you were pregnant. Obviously, it wasn't a secret.
No.
We knew you were going to have a baby. But we're always waiting to find out when.
Yeah.
And it happened at like 6, like really early in the morning. So I always wonder, like, what was that night like? Give me some details.
You really
I want to know. I want to know the whole thing. I want to know the story because I missed it. I wasn't there.
Okay, I'm gonna Ina May Gaskin you. For you people out there who've given birth, that's a very famous midwife who has a magical book about birthing stories. So I'm gonna share a little bit about my birthing story.
Yeah.
Not too many personal details because nobody wants to hear that. But I labored for like a whole day, for like a full 24 hours, and he was born as the sun was rising over the Hollywood Hills and Hey Jude was playing. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that kind of magical?
Yeah, very magical.
So we play the Beatles to him before he goes to bed, but it doesn't work at all. I actually made him a sleepy time playlist because they say you're supposed to play the same songs every night for them to go to bed to.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing is Dear Theodosia from the Hamilton mixtape.
Oh, yeah.
How about I'm never Broadway music to play all the time? It's obviously it's a huge part of my life.
Yes.
I listened to Dreamgirls while I was laboring too. Over and over again.
That seems like there's a good rhythm to a lot of that. A good beat. Dun, dun,
I was
dun, dun, dun.
yes. I was like, I'm not going. But I really wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know. For some reason, that felt really good to
Dreamgirls.
Original cast recording, baby.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the one.
I mean, hello.
Yeah.
But it felt good. I don't know.
Have you met Shirley Ralph?
No.
I would love to picture your energy together. I mean, I just she's been here and she's incredible.
She is magical.
She's magic. She's pure positivity and yeah. Anyway, so she helped you get Jennifer
she helped.
Holly, all the ladies,
they both
Loretta
helped
Devine,
me.
They all helped.
They did.
They were all part of your labor. I love that.
Oh my God! If I ever get to meet them, I have to tell them that you helped me get through the labor of my son Jack. I wonder what that'll mean for him for his future. I hope that he is a fan of. Well, he'll be a fan of Dreamgirls. How could you not be? It's a perfect musical.
Yeah. How was Joe during all this? Your hubby?
Oh, he was great. He was actually really, really sweet. Oh, you know what I did do while I was pushing? I was doing weird vocal warm-ups and vocal
really?
checks. Yeah, it's so weird. I was like, ah,
The training, you never know when the training's going to come into play, right?
You don't, and then every once in a while, your body just like, you involuntarily scream. I kept being like, I'm not going to be one of those women who's like, but that's exactly what I sounded like. And then I'd be like, that was hard on my chords. And Joe would be like, you're not singing anytime soon. Would you just stop it? I was like, I just want to make sure everything's okay. And the doctor was like, what is she doing?
Right.
And Joe was like, we don't know. She's doing some weird vocal warm-ups, but I was trying to breathe, so that was the way that I knew how.
You look incredible. Was it a challenge? Did you gain a lot lot for the pregnancy?
I gained like 45 pounds.
Oh wow, okay.
I haven't told people that.
Were you
so I'm
eating a
sharing that
lot?
now.
Were you just, or was it just, were you being good, or what was the?
Well, I have celiac disease, so like I'm gluten-free for real. Joe always teases that at restaurants. I'm like, hi, I'm gluten-free, like, but for real. Like, I'm not just one of those people who's like not eating gluten. I'm gluten-free for real. Like, I actually have a really horrifying response to gluten. I get like the flu. It's like a thing. It's an autoimmune disease.
Right.
So anyways, I should be like a spokesperson for the Celiac Foundation. If you want me, I'll help you, Celiac Foundation. I don't know what I can do for you, but I'm spreading awareness right now. Anyways, and then 2 weeks later, I was like, oh my God, we have 4 weeks until I have to do something in the park with George, and I have to wear a weird corset. So
yeah.
I walked my butt to Weight Watchers. I actually didn't walk there. I walked from the car to Weight Watchers. And I started counting.
So you got right
points.
on the plan.
Yeah,
right on the Weight Watchers plan.
I counted my points this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. And you look great.
I'm a Weight Watchers lifetime member. That's really hard to say. Did I say it? I said it kind of weird.
Yeah.
I literally just said I'm a Weight Watchers lifetime member.
So you did get your butt to Weight Watchers and then back on stage pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was crazy.
You were incredible as Dot in Sunday in the Park with George. I got to see it at City Center. And now Broadway gets to see it, which is so exciting. And, when you do these things, you don't always think, you didn't think Broadway was really part of it. It wasn't like part of the plan necessarily.
Absolutely not. Every time that you do like a concert, like Encores,
yeah.
You're doing it for the love of the piece
yeah.
and to share the piece with maybe a new audience
yeah.
and with a familiar audience who loves it. And when we started working on it, all of us kind of, I think, were in awe of the masterpiece that it is. It's a masterpiece. You're like, oh, Sunday in the Park with George, it's brilliant. And then when you start delving into it, you're reawakened to the brilliance.
Yeah.
And I think also we were all startled in the room at how topical and relevant it is. And after the events of early November, it's even more topical and relevant. I think as artists, all of us were shocked and awakened by the division of the country. And I think anytime that kind of struggle is being felt, politically, socially, that's the time when art is the most important. Like, look at the times of art renaissance. Like, look at the late 60s. Yes. It was during a time of great division and struggle. Yeah. And on that note, it's time for a little children in art. So I think it's great that we're going to be doing it. It's really, everybody's doing it for the love of doing it again. It's amazing how it came about so quick, and really, like, people really had to make it happen so we're doing it.
The way that it originally started was because Jake Gyllenhaal. So he has suddenly revealed these amazing musical theater skills. It's crazy, this guy, because he did Little Shop of Horrors. Did you get to see that?
No.
Okay.
I wish.
Yeah, with Ellen Greene. That was incredible, and it was like, oh my God, look what this guy, on top of being a Hollywood movie star who kind of does it all, and and then like he's kind of a musical theater nerd. Like he kind of like grew up loving all this stuff. So Sunday in the Park with George is just a huge role, and I was kind of like, okay, he did Seymour, but now he's going to do George Surratt, and he's incredible. He's
amazing.
But he was attached to it first.
Yes.
Right. Did you audition with him, or what's the deal?
I saw that he was doing it, and I was like, oh, he's so brilliant. He's such a special actor.
Yeah.
And of course, that role you have to like sing your face off, but you also have to be a really special, gifted actor who is at his core vulnerable. I think that's kind of the crux of the role, is that you have to be inherently vulnerable, because you're not very loving and very warm to the audience or to Dot. Yeah. And if you're not loving at your core, if you're not heart chakra open, I just went there, then the whole show kind of doesn't work. And so he's perfect.
Yeah.
And then he can also sing his face off.
Right.
And then on top of that, he's a proper movie star. Like, he's a fancy proper movie star.
Yes.
And then on top of that, he's like a really good human. Like a really, really amazing person. Like in all the ways that a great human should be. And he's just spectacular. I can't just say more great things about him.
So what was the first meeting? Did you audition with him, or did that moment happen, or
no,
were you just...
I read that he was doing it, and then I was like, oh, well, I'll never get to do that, but that would be a dream of mine.
Right.
That's a dream role of mine. And then they called me to ask me if I wanted to do it. And I remember everybody being like, you know that your baby will only be 6 weeks old. And I was like, I'll be fine. He'll be 6 weeks. Little babies just sleep and eat all the time. I had no idea. The morning of our first concert, that Monday morning, we still hadn't finished teching the show because it's a huge show and it's Sondheim, and we did it in a week. We did it in 7 days. And I remember we were finishing teching and I started singing Children in Art. And I was looking at the painting and I sobbed through the entire song. And all the moms in the company came out on stage and were like, oh, honey, we feel you. And they were crying too. Because I always knew that as an actor, having a child would change the way that I look at life and the way that I look at art and the way that I connect to art. But I had no idea. And I had no idea how tired I would be. So it was a really life-changing experience.
And a fancy experience, because when I went backstage to say hi to you, and it was literally like Jake Gyllenhaal was talking to Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, this is the world. This is the world. So
crazy.
It's fancy.
And I think at the core of it is truly art.
Yeah.
So it all felt just kind of normal and beautiful, and which is, I think, kind of the way it's supposed to be.
Right. So at the end of those performances, was it like, we got to do this again? Let's try to do this again. Somebody should try to do this again.
Yes, we did. I remember Jake looking at me and being like, okay, I feel like we need to do it again. I was like, yeah. And he's amazing, and he kind of set the wheels he set the wheels in motion, and he is authentically an artist and wanted to create the art again, and so we're doing it again.
So exciting. At the new Hudson Theater.
Yeah.
Brand new theater.
Brand new theater on the Broadway. And by brand new, I mean it was a theater a long time ago, and we're opening it again.
Right.
Maybe there won't be as much mold because they washed the walls.
Yeah, it'll be all clean and fancy. I was actually wondering if there are going to be really strict rules for what you can do in your dressing room.
They're like, don't have sex in your dressing room. Just kidding. Sometimes it's like a weird thing that I think when I go into a dressing room, I'm like, who's had sex in this room?
I wonder that.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, did Noel Coward have a secret tryst in this room? Or did he just drink too much vodka here? Who knows? That's where my mind goes.
It is so exciting, and that score, and hearing you sing those songs was so exciting. And by the way, you're Marie, so you play Dot. You play two characters. You play Dot in Act 1 and Marie, and then Dot, if you know the show. But Marie is the kooky old lady. And you're the funniest Marie. I mean, there's little moments of humor before the beautiful Children in Art moment. There's little moments of humor that were genius. So
oh my God,
it was really fun to see a comedian really take those moments on.
Well, I must say that the great Bernadette Peters gave me.
Speaking of comedians.
I mean, she literally just gave me a jewel to work from.
She didn't actually give you a jewel. Did she come see it?
She did.
Did you meet her? Did you have a moment with her?
I didn't see her after the show. I would have been too overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Every time that I spend time with her at all, I have to collect myself, and it feels all normal and natural while it's happening, and then when she walks away, I go, oh, she's absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna get choked up. She's part of why I have a career and a life.
Yeah.
She's one of, I think, the all-time most special artists of the theater.
Did you watch that PBS Sunday in the Park when you were a kid? Did you
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, I watched it before we started. I usually don't do that. I usually don't watch things before we start. But I wanted to make sure that I paid homage to special moments that they had together, and I felt like their work was as much a part of the script, as the script and score was, because they were just so beautiful and perfect. So I watched it and tried to pay homage to moments here and there.
Now I want to see you sing song and dance. That score. Let's just do more Bernadette roles.
Oh my God! Do you know I did it in college?
Did you? You did song and dance?
In the black box.
Oh, nice.
And I had 14 costume changes that I did by myself.
Wow, I love it. And you did the British accent and
I did the whole thing.
You did the show.
And I had like a bunch of hats that I made through the show.
Designer, yes.
That was like my concept. Like I made hats as the show went on. Guess what? I was not good, and the production was not stellar. It was in the black box of the Mary Manhattan College. It was weird.
Is there any video documentation of this?
No, and thank God.
Oh, man.
That was before YouTube and iPhones. Okay. Thank God.
Can we talk about your Tony Award, because it's been a while since you won a Tony Award, but I've never properly talked to you about it, and you were in the midst of like filming Masters of Sex. The Masters of Sex is now over.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm so sad. I also was super pregnant with Jack while I was filming Masters and while I was filming Rocky Horror.
Yes.
Like super pregnant. So he was, not only was he in Masters of Sex, he was in Rocky Horror, and he was in Sylvia. We didn't even know.
His IMDB page is huge.
Huge. It's crazy. But yeah, we were filming Masters, so I was flying kind of back and forth. And
wait, so you got pregnant during Sylvia? Is that what you're saying? And Sylvia was a randy little dog. I mean, Sylvia, you had that whole scene where it was just like a whole sex model, a dog sex monologue.
Oh, she was so naughty. But also, I like had to do that crazy like rollover, and I found out I was pregnant like a week before we finished the run.
Wow, and you were doing crazy
and I was
physical.
Like, every time I do the rollover, I'd be like, little baby, I don't know who you are or what you are, but I hope you're okay in there. I know you're the size of a red lentil, but it's safe. Thank God he was safe.
Yeah, but that little lentil heard mommy getting those big laughs, and now that's why that little baby now is like, all right, mom,
like,
I know,
you're not that funny.
I'm not amused by you.
Yeah.
Broadway's amused by you. I'm amused by that over there.
I know, he's a hard laugh.
But wait, you just brought up a lot of things.
I know.
Horror. So Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
What was it called? Rocky Horror Show.
Let's do the time warp.
Picture show : Let's do the time warp again. It was a very long title. It was a very
Let's do the time warp again.
long television title. How did you feel about that? Because it didn't do that great ratings-wise. I mean, 5 million people watched it, which is like more than has ever seen you do a Broadway show. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you can't get, that's a lot of people.
It's like a lot of people.
It's just a different, it's like everyone automatically compares these things to like the other musicals.
Yeah.
But it was different. It wasn't a live event.
No.
It was a movie, and you were Columbia. And
yes.
you were very funny.
Thank you.
But how did it feel for you? Did you like the finished product? And
do you know, it's so interesting because I was rehearsing for Sunday in the Park. So I was like nursing, rehearsing.
I mean, when it was on, when it aired, yeah.
When it aired, it was like a Thursday night, and so I was in Sunday in the Parkland. And watching anything like that, you're so nostalgic about the filming of it, and I was so nostalgic about being pregnant with Jack, and then having him there was kind of magic. And I was also like watching my lower belly the entire telecast.
Right. It was a fun group of people.
Amazing group of people. Yeah, and there's always such a challenge when you are reinterpreting not only a classic and a favorite, but I mean, it's a cult classic.
Yes.
So I think that there were a lot of inherent challenges.
There's a lot of ownership. People feel real ownership over it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think I felt my own challenges as an artist and actress, that I wanted to, again, pay homage to the great little Nell who originated Columbia in the first place. And I always kind of wanted to reflect back at the movie and what made it special. And I think that what made it most special was it came out during a time that people were, again, finding their voice, finding themselves. And, the theme of the piece is to be yourself and to be who you were born to be.
Right.
Don't dream it, be it.
Yeah, you're right. You can't recreate the time that it came out
No.
of. Yeah, you're right.
And it's just like genius.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And Masters of Sex is over, and you ended up having like great storyline, and
I know.
Betty got great meaty material to.
She did. Poor
and a
Betty.
Girlfriend.
Yes, thank God Betty had a girlfriend. I look back too on Betty's journey, and not only did Betty have a girlfriend, but she had a really funny, fierce girlfriend.
Sarah Silverman.
I mean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Sarah Silverman had a really intense summer of her own, personally, because she had that crazy health scare. And then she came in and we did this crazy material where she, in her, in her storyline, had to have a terrible, sad health scare.
Yeah, it was awful. It was sad.
So sad.
We had a lot of sadness.
So sad. And so I'm so grateful that I got to have that journey with her creatively, and I think she's also an amazing human. And I'm sad that we didn't get to finish the story.
Right. And of course you got a great gay storyline because you're down with the gays. I mean, it just totally makes sense. Your whole life, right?
Amen. Since I was a little girl, the first theater that I worked at was the theater on Broadway, the Gay Theater of Denver. It's like, I feel like part of my place on earth is to help share stories of gay love, because that's what, I mean, if we only have love. I'm singing If We Only Have Love, Jacques Brel's If We Only Have Love, in my New Year's show. I sang it last year, and I'm singing it again this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to sing it forever. Forever. If you don't know the song, look up the lyrics.
It's amazing. I was just telling you before we started rolling that I was listening to your live album from 54 Below. I love that show, Lost in the Stars. Get that album. So you are back at 54 Below, Feinstein / 54 Below. The name changed since the last time. You're doing a New Year's Eve show. You did it last year, correct?
Yes.
And Will Van Dyke again.
Yes.
And you guys have a great song. You have a new song that you just released.
We
called
did.
A New Year, correct?
A New Year, yeah. We're going to be doing it on New Year's.
Appropriate.
We did it last year. And so we're going to do it again this year. It's a beautiful song.
It's a great song, yeah.
Great song. And we also, this has been a crazy year. So I'm trying to figure out, we have rehearsal this afternoon.
How to celebrate it. Or is it all about moving on?
I think it's going to go. I texted Will last night. I think I need to sing 16 going on 17. Maybe as Putin.
That's adorable.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that.
16 going on 17. That's so clever.
Right?
Yes. Who thought of that?
Me.
Look at you. Look at the things going on in your brain. I would never would have thought of that.
I don't know who I'm going to do it as. Maybe I'll just do it as myself. Last year, Gertie the Goat made an appearance because it was the year of the goat. 2015 was the year of the goat. But this year was the year of the monkey, so I don't know. Last year was exceedingly exciting because you don't know how close you are to midnight the whole night, so you have to do time checks. So we made it a thing. So it's like goes da 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 da. What's the time? Boom, boom, boom. It's gotta be close to midnight, and then we find out what time it is. That's how we figure out what time it is the whole night.
I love it.
We hope that everybody gets up, and the whole thing is supposed to be inclusive, so the audience feels like they can participate. Maybe not scream out things the whole time, but
right.
during moments
it's not
that are
Rocky Horror.
appropriate.
Calm down. Just watch the show.
Yeah, totally.
But I have to say, you're one of the people that I hear about New Year's Eve shows all the time, and you're someone I go wow, I actually would love to spend New Year's Eve with Annaleigh Ashford. This is the perfect you plus a holiday. I think it's awesome.
That's so sweet.
You think you might keep doing it, or we'll see. Maybe it'll become a thing.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
Especially this year, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'll spend the next week really, really thinking about the last year.
Yeah.
Writing and trying out jokes on everybody I know.
What is the craziest New Year's Eve you ever did? Did you do any but the face, I love the face.
Do you know this 6 years ago, I babysat, and then after I was done babysitting, I went and met my husband, who was then my boyfriend, my best friend, Joe Tapper, my best friend Craig Jessup, also known as Breedlove, and another one of my best friends, Celeste Henderson, who's amazing. You should check out her music. She's incredible. I'm plugging her. She's brilliant. Brilliant. She's doing a lot at Joe's Pub. She's a resident artist there. And our friend Billy Lyons. And we somehow ended up somewhere in Brooklyn.
Okay, as you do.
Yes. I didn't have that many cocktails. But at the bar that we were at, I found a skeleton that was left over from Halloween. And I got up on the stage that was used for bands. Okay. Nobody was there. And I did a puppet show with a skeleton for literally 20 minutes that people really enjoyed. So much so that I've thought about bringing it back.
I'm thinking it should be a part of your show, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You know what? That's a great idea.
I don't know.
It was great. It was some of the best
You could fill 20
comedy.
minutes right there.
There was a moment of improv. That was a good moment. And then another time in across from Blockheads in what's that called? Worldwide Plaza,
yeah.
I found a character that I do now called Puppet Judy, which is Judy Garland if she came back from the dead as a puppet.
Oh.
and you put a quarter in her, and she comes alive. We should do it. This is a good. I don't know if we're close to the end of the interview, but this is a good way to end things.
You can do it right now.
Yeah.
Where do I put the quarter?
Okay, right here.
Right into the heart.
Yeah, and then you have to ask Puppet Judy a question, and she answers it for you.
Okay, but I need to come up with a good question though.
Anything you would ask Judy.
Okay.
You ready? You have to put a quarter
so
in.
I
can't believe I'm doing this for you.
No, I love it.
Crazy.
I love this. Are you kidding me?
But I've always wanted to do a show as Puppet Judy. Okay.
So it's Puppet Judy.
Yeah, you have to put a quarter in and then answer.
Okay, right in the heart.
Yeah.
Ugh!
Yes?
Puppet Judy, what's your New Year's resolution for 2017?
Darling, what a great question. My New Year's resolution for 2017 is to say, I'll come home for the holidays and tell all my gay friends that you are loved, you are welcome, and I'm going to bend over and I'm going to stick cocaine on my ass. Oh! That's how it always ends. I'm going to bend over and you stick cocaine on my ass.
That's a great bit. I love that.
Isn't it weird?
I love it. How did that come up at Worldwide Plaza?
I did it for maybe an hour in Worldwide Plaza with some friends. Because my impersonations of Carol Channing, Judy Garland, and Liza Minnelli are all the same. And they're that. And they were like, you sound like a puppet version of Judy Garland if she came back from the dead. And I went, what?
Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, on that note, and if you want to see something a lot classier than that, than Sunny in the Park with George.
I can't believe I
This is what I love about Sunny in the Park with George. I love that this girl who I've seen do all this crazy stuff, you're such a classy lady now. Just like Upper East Side ladies, like, no, are gonna know the Annaleigh Ashford, right? I mean, although once you work with James Earl Jones, I guess that already happened too.
Oh,
but we never even talked about your Tony. Do you still have it?
Oh my gosh. It's in our bookshelf next to a unicorn because that's how magical it is.
Nothing more needs to be said. It's next to a unicorn. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas.
Oh, thank you. You too.
I mean, you can still get into New Year's Eve, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, come and maybe
54 below.
You know what?
It's pricey, but worth it. It's like it's a thing.
It's absolutely worth it because it's really worth it because you get all of that booze and all of that food.
Yeah, it's a lot of booze and food and disco and talent.
And it's so fun and silly.
Yeah.
It should not only make you laugh a lot, but it should help you look back on the last year with love and light and move forward into the next.
And move on. And if you want to hear her sing Move On, you can be at the Hudson Theater, Sunny in the Park with George, which it opens February 23rd. And that Jake Gyllenhaal guy, he'll be there too.
Oh, he's so dreamy and magical.
Thank you so much for being here. I adore you. I can't wait till you're here for the 4th time.
Yay,
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.